After taking Benji from Mayday Parker, Moreland commands the Spider Weaver to open a doorway to take him out of this reality. The Spider-Girl gives it her all to rescue her brother, but she is outmatched by the Inheritor. She screams in horror as the portal closes in front of her. Moreland and Benji has left the battlefield. Spider UK radios into the 616 Spider-Man screaming for help. Luckily for the Spider Army, Peter Parker and the Spider-Girls has returned with backup. They have recruited Spider-Man Japan and he has brought his toy. A 50-foot tall mechanized robot now charges at Lord Solus. But even the gigantic robot is no match for the Inheritor father, who's juiced up on the Cosmic Spider-Man. But the robot achieved its mission and gave the Spider Army enough time to retreat and regroup. Spider-Man commands the Spider Army to retreat, but unfortunately Spider-Man Japan has stayed behind with his robot to see the mission through. Mayday Parker reluctantly departs with her army, leaving Benji behind. Parker states, "If he's out there, I swear we will find him, but it's not safe for us here anymore." Lord Solus states, "Wrong, Spider Totem, it's not safe for you anywhere." Back on Earth 3145, even though it hurts to breathe in this reality, it appears that the Inheritors cannot even enter unless they want to risk their lives. Silk webs herself up for insulation and begins to trek forward in search for shelter. Earth 8847, the Spider Army arrives at a random world with dinosaurs as the dominant species. Seconds later, Spider-Man Japan teleports in. He luckily invaded Death, but his robot did not fare so well. Spider-Woman checks in with the army and informs her comrades that she has infiltrated the Inheritor's kingdom while impersonating a housemaid. Spider-Man states, "That was too convenient." Her conversation is cut short as the Spider-Weaver grabs her attention. He states, almost as if it were all planned out, as part of some grand design. Peter Parker now checks in with Miles Morales and discovers that Morales has gained a few more soldiers for his army. Spider-Man 2099 makes contact, and we discover that Deimos is subdued by an electromagnetic field and his cloned body is being worked on by Miguel and the Lady Spider. But the conversation has been interrupted by Lord Genix. The Inheritor explains how he has been listening in on their whole conversation the entire time. It was child's play, but now Genix must intervene. He relays their position to his sister, and within seconds, Verna and her hounds appear. She sends her hounds to attack. The two sides engage in a vicious battle, but the Spider Army is losing to Verna's hounds. Back on Loom World, we discover that the Weaver has been enslaved by the Inheritors for ages, but the Weaver has performed minor acts of defiance. He gives the Spider-Woman 2 scrolls which details the prophecies of the Other, the Scion, and the Bride. But before their conversation is interrupted, he tells her that there is something else in the scroll. Around the corner, Moreland gives Benji the Scion to Bricks for safekeeping. Jessica makes her appearance, but Moreland notices that her posture and body language is a bit different than normal. Back on Earth 8847, Parker receives the scrolls that the Spider-Woman had sent, but in the heat of battle, he does not know what to do. He begins to second-guess his leadership abilities. Suddenly, Silk radios in and gives the army the coordinates to her location, a place that she knows that the Inheritors could not go to. The doorway opens and the army departs, but this time Verna does not dare to give chase. She states, "Fools, let's see how long they will last in 3145. Arriving on location, the army feels the radiation firsthand, but Silk has left them clues on where to find her. They arrive at Ezekiel's bunker. As the door opens, Silk is the first to greet her comrades. She informs Parker that the Spider Totem of this world is already inside when she got here. The light turns on and Uncle Ben arrives to greet his nephew. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and today we finally got another Spider-Verse issue. The Amazing Spider-Man issue 12 starts right after the Cosmic Spider-Man got killed and Moreland took possession of baby Benji. So as always, I just wanted to dive right into the cliffhanger. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind to the beginning and we can discuss what worked and what didn't work. The situation at the camp went from bad to worse now that the Spider Army lost the Scion. I had a feeling that this would happen, but I wanted more in this issue. I wanted to know Benji's role in the Spider-Verse, and of course we got Silk the Spider Bride and Kane as the Other. We still don't know much about their role. All we know is that the Weaver is plotting to take down his jailers, but this we already knew. So now the Spider Army has access to some juicy information on the prophecy that details Benji, Silk, and Kane's role in all of this. We also learned that there's a bit more information on the scrolls. I hope that reveal will knock our socks off. Next up, we got the Japanese Spider-Man and his gigantic robot. If I'm correct, this Spider-Man had his own live-action TV series a few decades ago. This was before my time, so I can't tell you much about it, but I just love knowing that we are getting a bunch more Spider-Man moving forward. Speaking about new Spider-Man, we are now introduced to this short black and white Spider-Man, Cowboy Spider-Man, and these two other guys that I don't recognize, and of course Japanese Spider-Man with his tower-sized robot. So I have no clue who this little Japanese Spider-Man is, and this is my first time looking at a cowboy-themed Spider-Man. These two are a bit hard for me to recognize, but I love the talking Spider-Mobile. Oh, by the way, remember Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show? I love this little part where he yells, "Web Warriors, away!" This is obviously alluding to the current Ultimate TV show, Web Warriors. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it. It's pretty good. So before I give you my thoughts on the last panel, I want to show you the cover art one more time. I gotta say, this is the most creepy cover art for the Spider-Verse yet. I can recognize most of the spider heads except for these four. If you guys know which Spider-Man they are, then please share your knowledge in the comments below. And then take a look at Karn. It looks like he is still relevant. I am honestly hoping for him to turn on his family at the end. Maybe Karn will be a new anti-hero? Marvel, I hope you are listening to this. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay, so finally we arrive at the cliffhanger. In this reality, Uncle Ben is a spider totem. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that his Peter Parker is dead. So just to give you some backstory on his reveal, the guys at Bleeding Cool stated that the reveal of Uncle Ben at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12 will break the internet. I gotta admit that I was shocked and I got chills because we haven't seen Uncle Ben yet, but did it break the internet? Well, it was better than Kim Kardashian's nude pictures, that's for sure. But the question is, did it break the internet? In my opinion, it did not. And this is my reasoning as to why. We are dealing with multi-universal travel, so I would expect to see different incarnations of Spider-Man. But of course, I do expect to see different incarnations of his family and friends as well. So was it too far-fetched to imagine an Uncle Ben with spider powers? Not really. Don't get me wrong, I love his appearance, but it didn't break the internet in my opinion. You know what would break the internet? Let's rewind, I don't know, 10 years ago? Do you remember the very last episode of the 90s Spider-Man TV show? Well, he dealt with multi-universal travel as well. Guess what happens at the end? He meets Stan Lee. Stan Lee! If the final reveal was Stan Lee instead of Uncle Ben, then I would just die from nerdgasm. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave you with that thought to marinate in your mind. So I want to know your opinion on Uncle Ben's appearance. Could you say his reveal broke the internet? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we got Spider-Man 2099 issue 7 coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you are joining us for the very first time and is a bit lost in the story, well, there's a link below that can redirect you to Comic Island's complete Spider-Verse reading order checklist. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see ya next time in another Spider-Verse video.